Welcome back to Day 7 of Game Changers Championship 2024, where we just witnessed an epic battle between G2 Gozen and Shopify Rebellion. We actually thought the series would probably never end with the amount of overtimes that we had, but as you can see, Sarah's signing some, signs for the fans. That means Shopify Rebellion.
Can I go over there?
You want to go over there?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that far. I mean, sure, go ahead.
Maybe next time.
Okay. I like that you decided
I'm
that.
too scared to go this time.
Why are you scared?
I don't know Sarah like that.
I would cover. I mean, she's pretty cool. Sewa's pretty cool, I think. As are the rest of Shopify Rebellion.
You're intimidated too.
By Sewa?
Yeah.
A little
Maybe
bit.
you stumble over her. Let's move on.
Anyway, we did see, so many great plays here, and Mitch, you just were on the edge of your seat then because it was so tense, especially in those last few rounds.
Yeah, listen, there were at least some of us on that desk were rooting for G2, and I at least wanted to see a third map in this series. Red really believed they'd be able to do the damage there. I didn't think this would be as close as it was. Let's put that plainly. We talked about it beforehand, and a big reason that it was so close was Amy was able to just hit this phenomenal form. That was a funny little jump through the stun. But all throughout this, it felt like G2 were just about to let it slip, and then there would just be this lights out round that managed to restore faith. This round she started with a Sheriff, ends up killing someone using a Hunter's Fury, pulling it into a 2v2, and then getting both of the last kills. She was keeping this team alive.
I mean, this series was one that you had to keep your eye on every single round because you just weren't exactly sure who would take it. I mean, even at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible series. I'm very hopeful that we could get a game like this again in the finals, but I think it's a lot harder to get back there the second time, right? G2's going to have to play a best of 5 tomorrow after playing today. Even if they win that, they then go into a VO5 where Shopify has a double ban advantage. So it's really going to be an uphill battle for whichever team has to face SR in that final.
But the one thing that's at least inspiring some confidence is looking at that veto. I thought, especially after the first map fell to the side, that, okay, this is done. It's going to be 2-0 for Shopify. Maybe there's a chance when we bounce back. But now we've seen that even on maps where I wouldn't estimate G2 to be able to deal quite as much damage, where we're looking at Fluorescent against Rescue and thinking that's a weighted battle, they're still able to dig deep and put up serious numbers. So there's a chance, but it is a much, much tougher challenge now, like you said, in that BO5.
Well, hey, congratulations to Shopify Rebellion. They do make it to the grand finals right away. And for G2 Gozen, who do they go up against? We're going to find out in just a bit. But before that, GCC is a great time to join the community and find your future squad. Just scan these QR codes on the screen to join the LFG Discord or the VALORANT server, which is exclusively for women and non-binary players. When you have friends, someone will fill smokes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Queuing is so much with friends is absolutely elevates the experience. But I want to give a real vouch for VALORANT, the server on the right there. The first ever casting gig I got was from in that community, from people I knew. Someone dropped out, couldn't cast a match. I didn't even really know it was something I wanted to do. One of my friends who was a mod at the server was like, hey, you want to fill in and do this?
Yeah.
I did, loved it, and then kind of went from there, and I'm now here doing this at GCC years on. So it's a really good community. There's a lot of great people there. So
that's
you should join
amazing.
it.
That's amazing. So you have this amazing connection to the VALORANT server, and you would not be here.
Yeah, I don't think I would be if I hadn't joined that server. What, 2020?
Wow.
4 years ago?
That's deep Mimi lore right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. But we're going to get into this matchup right now. It is Brazil versus the Pacific once again. And this is bringing up some unresolved issues for me because we have seen this happen last year when it was the SMG Core and Liquid. And currently, Brazil is 3-0 versus the Pacific teams in GCC.
Yeah, and it was a real heartbreak for SMG last year. I think they had some real fire behind them. They were on such a great run, but then Team Liquid Brazil came out, and I mean, we know how it went with their own lower bracket run. Absolutely taking this game, then going through the lower finals and making it all the way. But it was a banger. It went all the way to a third map, was super tight throughout. So for this Team SMG Core, it may be against a different Brazilian team. They may be under a different org now, but they are definitely vying for revenge today and hoping to break through and make the top 3.
And there have been some weaknesses there for MIBR, but The other question is, will the momentum that they're coming off of up against Zeta carry them through to have a much easier series? I mean, they definitely had a couple of shaky performances, like I said, but I really think that now they're coming in confident, and as long as they can put a couple rounds on the board early, they might run away with this one. I
mean, it's a lot of momentum, especially since they had the first 13-0 in GCC history, and it was officially ended Zeta's miracle run. Unfortunately, that's one Pacific team down for the side of MIBR. They're looking for another, but Sipto are looking to avenge Zeta.
Again, MIBR's entire series to make it to this game was shorter than map 1 of the first series today. Wow. This was an absolute stomp. And I actually think it's kind of hard to rate MIBR's form right now because of how one-sided this game was. But suffice it to say, while other games have been about how good their team play is, how well they play off each other, this was a game about the individuals. Jelly and SRN were just having an absolute field day.
I love Jelly.
SRN set the kill record, right? There's a 3-way tie for that, and SRN is
in regulation,
29 kills for regulation, 29 kills to 9 up against Zeta on Sunset, and a good chance to get to see this.
13-3, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ACS though. Record's broken in terms of ACS for SRN.
Yes, indeed, you're correct. Yeah. So, you know, at that point, again, it comes into the question of momentum. Everything is going right for this team. Although, again, you could look at that for Zipto. They have a chance to be that hurdle that puts a stop to this run.
The thing about MIBR, though, is when you watch them in Brazil, they're all about the energy. They were trash-talking every opponent. Remember, Brazil plays their qualifiers on LAN. They were going up there.
It was scary.
Yeah, not favored against CL Brazil. I was watching the VODs. I was scared because this team is so loud. When they get that energy flowing, when they channel that into their gameplay, they can really beat anyone. And we saw last year how Team Liquid Brazil channeled that into a finals appearance.
That said, though, they are the sweetest. And I love Jelly, by the way. Jelly is the absolute sweetest
they're
person
perfectly nice
ever.
Outside the server.
I mean, and look, here's what Jelly had to say about, you know, her most unsung teammate, Jubes, which is just the sweetest, right? Jubes is a really big and important part of our team outside and inside of the game. She has great energy. She's just an amazing person. And then right after that, Jubes was like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. And it was just a really sweet moment. And you can just see how close this team is.
Yeah, I was watching one of MIBR's, I almost said Team Liquid Brazil, one of MIBR's vlogs at the beginning of this year when they put the team together. And in the little sit-down interview, Jubes was saying how she was really intimidated to join this team because there were a lot bigger players who had been established in GC before, and how nervous she was to get to kind of play with people she had looked up to before. But it's clear how at home in this roster she feels now, and how much value she's providing, even to her more experienced teammates.
Yeah, and I think this, again, being able to come into a roster like that where you have experience around you and still manage to uplift people, it reminds me of the interview at the start of the day, what Mel had to say about Mimi. She was very complimentary about how Mimi's obviously an incredibly talented player, an IGL for the squad as well. The ability to take talent, take these players and get the most out of them, elevate them to another level of play. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's a very, very rare skill set to have.
Oh, absolutely. It's like mentorship, right, in another level. But for MIBR, I think we're forgetting also, just because they're doing so well, that this is the first time this roster is here on the champion stage, right? Yet you have somebody like SRN who also had a map for the history books, right? Setting a new record for GCC on the ACS with 512. That also ties Suzu's GCC record for the most kills on a map during regulation with 29, which I believe Camille also shares now.
A game of records, really.
Yeah.
Scoreline as well. You're 13-0. It really puts it in perspective, though. Well, today we'll put it in perspective, I should say, because the question is: was this Zeta under-delivering? Was this them underperforming on the day, or a power level mismatchup, or have MIBR truly just hit this god-tier form? And then, well, we'll find out today whether they can be stopped.
Disgusting stats for SRN. SRN, I think, is the only player at this event where if you showed me a VOD of just one player's POV, you took away all the information, the player names, the context of what game it is, and just showed it to me, they're the only player who I would guess Fluorescent for, besides Fluorescent.
Yeah.
Like, the resemblance in their style of play is so uncanny. This incredibly snappy aim, excellent movement, consistent performance across a variety of different duelists. SRN, this is their first ever GCC, but they are already going out and making themselves a superstar.
Speaking of which, we may need to make an extension for the flow chart over here, or the floor chart. What do we say? Floor chart? It's
Flowchart's a real thing. That's the problem.
yeah. I do know that floor chart doesn't really roll off.
It's a flowchart. Okay.
It is.
It's my bad.
It is.
I didn't graduate.
I feel
school.
like we need to move SRN. Like they need to go.
That maxes out at 400, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space in that margin over there. I think we need to get them higher. Rescue is all the way over there. We have
Okay, so
Inari
there's
over
floor.
there. We have floor here. Where does SRN go?
Pretty reasonable. It's just got to be like through the roof, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's past the top of this graph, I think.
Yeah.
That's where we've got to put them.
ACS can be kind of fake, but there's nothing realer than the floor chart. I mean that honestly. And let's put her on.
Yeah. We're gonna move SRN up all the way beyond, or maybe it's not even possible at this point. Perhaps we have
broken the system.
We have broken the flowchart.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there.
That's maybe that's a bit too high.
Oh, we can't see them anymore.
Goodbye.
I see a little bit. I see a little bit of SRN.
Oh, you need to see.
That is it. But you are absolutely right, Mitch. I wonder if stats like these are going to continue against a team like Xipto, right? Because it can be very, very different. As you mentioned, it might have been just an off day for Zeta. Does that momentum continue in that way for this match?
I think this should definitely be a bigger barrier for them to jump over. And I think going back to SMG, who were in a very similar position a long time ago, this is essentially the same roster, but they're not performing the same. Kamiyu has reached an entirely different level to what was presented at previous GCCs, I would even say regionally before. And if that can carry forward, that level of performance can be brought to a team like MIBR, I don't think we're in for another 13-0, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, I got really, really nervous because, this former SMG core really had to dig deep to make it back to the same spot that they were at last year, right? Especially against Crew, because Crew really did an amazing job. And Xipto, I would say that their strategy isn't entirely flawless.
It's funny because I was like reading the comments and stuff in the chat after this game, and it's like everyone is just like, this is HyperX. It's the exact same experience for these APAC teams to come out here and just absolutely give people heart attacks because they look out of this series. They lose map 1, they go into a map 2, down 8-4 at the half, and honestly, not playing anywhere close to their usual standards. And then they lock in, come back on map 2, and show up big time on Pearl as well with some massive performances, especially from Kamiyu, who you already mentioned. It was just an unreal recovery for them to stay in this tournament.
We need to talk about Cams. We need to talk about my girl here.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, because she was so instrumental in Xipto's win and even managed to, tie in for the Suzu and SRN's GCC record for those most kills, right? 29 currently. I feel like this number is going to change over the next few days, by the way.
Well, I mean, it's a good opportunity. We've got 2 players on this server who are both currently holding the kill record. Why not settle the score here? Someone's got to hit 30 at some point.
I can feel it as well. I mean, Kamiyu also really wanted to go for it, and then when I saw her backstage, and when she knew about the 29, she was like, oh man, I was one short of 30.
Yeah, she was so close. This was also in what, a 13-9, by the way, that she pulled that off. Anything more, and I think there's no doubt she would have hit the 30 bomb. But yeah, Kamiyu is incredible. I think for this team, you're oftentimes looking at Inari, but being the second entry when you're playing a lot of Neon comps is such an important role, because a lot of the time the Neon is just gonna die, is gonna get traded out quickly.
Yeah.
Being that second player in, you are more often than not the one put in the position to actually get those multi-kills, and having a player like her who can deliver it round after round is such a boon for this team. When you hear other players talk about them, it's always talking about just how scary the aim on every one of those members is.
Well, I saw how fired up you guys were in that previous series. It's now time for me to get in there and all that action. Time for me to be on the edge of my seat because we are going to get this match underway and send it down to the stage. Let's bring out MIBR and Xipto for our second series of the day. The pride of two regions comes to a head in this match. Sipto versus MIBR. MIBR, the newest squad in the tournament right now, in the top 4. With every match, they show everyone what you think you've seen about the squad. You haven't seen anything just yet. And for Sipto, they've been in this exact position before. Can they rise above their past and go further than they have before?
This is an interesting veto. Bind up first. You know, one of my main concerns would be someone like SRN. They usually have a field day on a map like Bind. Last time that they played it up against G2, by the way, not a terrible team. 7-2 in opening duels. Just getting in your face round after round, and that is going to be an immediate pace set for their opponents.
And I think where MIBR looked so good in that G2 game was their attack side in particular, which is where they're going to start off here. I think they have really good ideas of when to slow down into the mid-round, when to just set up for these really fast executes. I think Sayori's in IGL has felt so comfortable there. And for MIBR as well, we talked about this already, but coming off of such a stomp of a win over Zeta, only giving away 3 rounds in one series, I don't think the confidence could be higher. And I imagine it helps that they know that the last Brazilian team at a GCC did this last year. Team Liquid Brazil went all the way to the finals. They could not win. MIBR's sight is on that trophy, and Zipto's just another team in their way.
And I just say how exciting, these head-to-heads are as well, because we had, Melon Alexis and Petra and Mimi in the first match. Now we have, somebody like SRN and Jelly versus Ineri and Alexi too. So that's going to be very exciting to watch out for. Going now into our Agent Select, I feel like, again, those head-to-heads that I pointed out, you have Ineri and Alexi in the Duelist Initiator duo, and the same for SRN and Jelly.
For sure. I mean, it's going to be a straight-up mirror match here. Both teams flying into the classic 100 Thieves comp. For Zipto, I'm going to be really looking to see if they're a team who wants to give space and go for these aggressive re-clears on defense that this comp thrives at, or if they're going to have Ineri going out there trying to take SRN on in these early engagements. I think that's going to be so important, especially at the extremities of this map.
Yeah, I think getting those duels on the board early, bringing the fight to MIBR, because if you don't, we know that SRN will be in your face, and not many have been able to survive, especially not on maps like Bind and Sunset later.
Well, it's do or die for both of these teams, and a spot in the lower bracket final is on the line, and we've got just the casters for the job. It's Pansy and Potter.
Thank you so much, and a wonderful lead into this absolutely belting matchup. Christine, there's a lot to be said about these two, but I'm terrified watching MIBR at the moment. They look just a force to be reckoned with. Zipto, hard to not love what they've done so far, but is this that step too far? Talk to me about the win cons here for both sides.
The win cons, I mean, the desk really touched on it beautifully. SRN, it does seem like a one-man team, but she's been playing it so well. Just such a carry. And for the side of Zipto, it's a question mark, right? And they had questionable start. Alexi had a whole half where she held on to the Hunter's Fury. So I think coming into this series, they've got to be ready to roll with the punches, improvise, because SRN is certainly going to be in their faces. Looks like Ineri, she wants to control this hookah. They've got a double setup here. Want to set up a trap, and you can see 2 players at A very forward on this short. Some TP pressure, a lot of good damage, but that's info shown.
That's very nice, and a little bit of a burn of the util as well. Ineri not going to fall completely away, still has that paint shell to invest. But you've got that pressure up long. That's what you're going to be looking at now, is that SRN has made it towards the site. Jelly goes down, but there's still Alexi here. Still 2 Prowlers, no opportunity to invest. And MIBR just flood the site.
Just overwhelming. Power in numbers, and now look at Sayori. Perfect positioning, refreshing that smoke. And both defenders, they've got to just 3-2-1 get through this with the Dizzy.
Yeah, high flash, hope for the best, does clear first, but the numbers.
Good trade.
This is, that through the smoke, I think a little unfortunate in the end, but MIBR, let's kind of reflect on how that looked and how I feel like this game may go. Power in numbers, confidence, happy to just brawl on towards the site, and just look like they have no fear.
Yeah, and that's one of the dangerous things and why MIBR lean onto this map so heavily. When your race is that aware and that confident, they're immediately able to identify, okay, this is weak side. You know what? This player is playing a little bit too passively. I just bullied him off the line. Let me take a little bit more. So having a duelist that's able to just read the room immediately like that is so dangerous, and MIBR certainly have that weapon.
Spot on, and a very passive, standard almost approach here. Nice from MIBR, making sure. Ooh, I'm kind of surprised they got overwhelmed there. Yeah, a little surprised that that happen. I kind of like the approach everyone's sitting deep, looking to see if they're up to, you know, little naughtiness here and there, but an actual loss was surprising. Now, fortunately enough, you can recover the rifle, but again,
They've all got good weapons too. I do like how MIBR are reacting though. They didn't immediately go straight into the Viper. That's just looking to delay there, but this three-man push, it's just re-aggressing again from Zipto.
I love this 3-1-1 almost as well, just kind of, well, I say 3-1, it's like a 3-2 split basically, but the two very passive at A, keeping some space, but not much. You know, they're going to give up the site, but look at this timing on the flank as well. This is just gorgeous.
Tara's got a molly in her back pocket. She's going to be able to delay just slightly.
That could be good. I don't know if that delay is actually going to be coming through at all, no. So plant's in, and the post plant, 2 towards short, 2 towards showers. Where does the pack decide to split towards? Still got the boom bot, a lot of kit, but the timing feels like it's starting to dwindle here. It's all down to timing, and speaking of, there they are! They burst, and that's the Vandal they wanted initially. Now back into the hands. You've got the flank on the flank, so that's something to keep in the back of your minds. Melissa is on the way. Now Sayuri could get overwhelmed here. Tucked into the corner, trying to play off the back of just that molly burning, and as soon as one shows, Camus goes down, it's perfect. MIBR trying to keep control of this, but a 2v2 is still dangerous. Time is ticking. Alexi and Tara are going to try and make something out of this. They know where one of the players is. Jelly is a little bit harder to note and gets the punish on Alexi. This looks like the round now is secured. Damage done, absolutely, but a round for MIBR nonetheless.
Oh, nonetheless, indeed, and thankfully for MIBR, they're on the attack side of things, so they got the spike down the first and the second round. That's going to give them a little bit of cushion, even with all their teammates falling there. But I got to say, they've got to wake up a little bit. That awareness should have been going through their minds as soon as they went into that A site. Not a single soul, no bullets whizzing past them. They got to realize at that point, wait, something's happening weird here. It's a little too easy, but Jubes getting completely caught off guard there, not good enough. Great opening for Zipto. That's 2 times in a row now that we've seen they're not willing to give up this hookah. They want to fight it. They want to get a deep line. And I talked about the money, but MIBR, they are working with scraps. Just pistols, 3 of them.
Yeah, and that Guardian remaining, and then the Vandal as well. But Zipto,
okay.
Christ, SRN is something else.
No.
Just eviscerates 3. Okay, whoa. Okay, Alexi ain't letting that happen. SRN not going to be able to bully either side, but now down so low, surely dead. And here's SRN, takes the crown back. Shirazi, a mile away. And a potential ace in round 3 for SRN.
And MIBR have been so good about getting this bonus just ready to go. 2 orbs away from the ultimate. But SRN's not going to be able to actually get the spike down. Looking, okay, jigs up, now they know. Double swing.
My word, that wasn't meant to be converted like that. I mean, I want to watch those shots back. I'm sure we'll get it on the replay. But again, when you're looking, kind of what the desk was talking about, when you look at the impact and how that aim kind of like comes into play, that could have been a floor clip that I'm seeing on Twitter. You know, like it's so clean. SRN has got such lovely impact to the plate. And credit to Alexi for trying there. Hell, she got 3 of her own. Not enough.
Yeah. And you saw that Zipto, they were always gonna have that shower trap, rather, in play, in motion. Yeah. It's unfortunate Neri had that nade out in tow. Her teammate just got annihilated way too fast.
Ooh, whoa. Aggression. Ooh. And, I mean, Zipto are trying to bring the fight here, right? Trying to be aggressive, trying to be in their faces, keep their heads held high, but SRN is hungry for more. This is a slaughter!
Jesus.
What on earth? SRN is a cut above the rest, and Zipto sadly right now are feeling that pressure. MIBR looking lethal in this game.
And Zipto, they've got to be able to sustain these openings, start talking to each other, set up some better high-lows or double on the same line, maybe a bait and switch for themselves, but MIBR are just getting away with whatever they want on the side of the map that they choose. It's just, that's a mid-range jumping shorty around the corner.
It's just so much confidence. If you're watching SRM play, they're just running through people. You know what I mean? It's just next target. 7-1
and that
in
showstopper,
round 5.
It's on the board already. Brim ult in the back pocket as well. Now the defenders, they've got to just play completely differently. They don't want to be in U-Haul. They don't want to be doubled up in hookah like we've been seeing. You can see only Alexi on the off angle, but she's got the ultimate in her back pocket. She doesn't want to get picked off.
See how Neri does here. Spotting that angle. Oh, that's a shoulder. Stunning. Gets to fall away. No trade. Doesn't outstay a welcome, and I like that. Good little first contact and fall off this.
MIBR definitely would have wanted to bait somebody else and use that showstopper. Unfortunate SRN gets taken out. Good ultimate. Does get pushed off the angle. Should allow the spike to get down, but Terra finds one.
Yeah, this is still a bit dangerous. It's very precarious. Zipto didn't want to completely relinquish backside control, so it's going to be a brawl on the way back through. Melissa looks dead in the water here. Ineri on the clear. Isolates one on the side, but no more bullets. That flash now no longer as valuable, but a clear in the end from Shirazi coming back through. They held their ground backside, unwilling to completely fall away.
Yeah, Zipto finally finding a round on the board, capitalizing off of a small mistake from MIBR. At this point in the round, you know, Operator could have been on the table as well. So a dry, slow peak like that from SRN is definitely gonna get punished every single time. I wish we would have seen a better set piece coming out here for MIBR. They even decided to invest that Brim ult on the back site. Could have comboed it with Melissa, perhaps with the C's.
Would have been
maybe
nice.
a dog sound cue to go off, but that dog was trailing that
Yeah,
Brim.
it was just like a little bit mistimed
Smallest
almost.
of margins.
Yeah, 1-4 though. Can they now string them together? Talking of ultimate, Zipto has plenty. You've got. I mean, this is light work for observers. Just where's SRN at the start of the round? What are we looking at? For now, a very passive approach towards the B side, giving up a lot of freedom here.
Yeah, this is a really nice setup though for Zipto. They know that MIBR have been having their way on this side of the map. That showstopper is still on the table. You can see SRN very self-sufficient, alone in that hookah area. And as soon as any of her teammates get any contact here, top B, you could definitely expect a flying raise out of that choke point. Zipto, they're okay with it. 4 ultimates of their own. They want to play a retake game here.
SRN though, the temptation to go here has got to be so real.
They're not ready.
Really trying to cut off some of the potential angles. Flash in. There's nothing to worry about at this point. SRN's controlled site. So showstopper, and a shot in the dark works. SRN just can't seem to lose and has to go back here, but in a little bit of a troubling position. Falls away towards elbow, but MIBR in the meantime have full site control, right? We're gonna have the Gecko ult coming in. Fish trying to clear on out, get everyone spotted. They're gonna know there's gonna be players towards elbow, gonna catch at least one, gonna try and keep some security in Erie with a response towards SRN. Can't get the shot, a shot to follow up on Jelly though. And now we've got ults galore left and right. This is where he gets absolutely mad. Diffuse is starting, but you look at the flank coming in here. The Prowler's going to catch it. They know about Melissa coming back through, clearing on in. MIBR. In all that chaos, Christine, how the hell do they look so composed?
The layers, Lauren, the layers are incredible right now for MIBR. It looked like Melissa was late to the party, but Melissa was always the insurance plan, lurking around towards that A, trying to catch any sort of sniffer and maybe even find the pinch on a rat. But either way, if MIBR weren't able to find what they wanted at B, they would have just taken that TP and ended up back towards A on top of Melissa. So great game planning coming out here for MIBR, and Zipto, they've got to do a little bit of a better job, although a little unlucky for Shirazi.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
What are you
I mean,
gonna do?
she's doing her damnedest in that elbow, but SRN just finds a blind rocket entry.
The ult, how many does that catch? Oh,
Quite a few. That's a lot of info.
that's basically all of them are here. Does anyone want to try and
They're
gap
still going.
close? Yes, they do. SRN on the case. Plant's gonna be there, still trying to hold backside territory. Smokes are, oh my good God, that shorty.
She hasn't stopped. She's just on the move.
Yep. Yup. For now, Zipto gonna have to try and clear back in, but that's a lot to clear through. Sayori's actually in a little bit of danger. Doesn't get shut down on here. The smoke's still in play, and they're still confident to hold this. You've got to play a tuck towards the box, one towards site. Sayori, yeah, nice crossfires. Stunning post plant there.
Amazing, amazing. MIBR right now, they're gaining so much confidence, Lauren. I mean, the fact that that Fatal tagged all 4 members, they just said, you know what, they're low, let's go get
Let's
them.
go for it, yeah.
SRN, go get your movie, get your frag, let's get another showstopper on the board.
Now, this was the map that MIBR bested G2 on. In the 2-1 loss, keep in mind, because after this they went split and sunset, G2 came back in those. So this is an exceptionally good map for MIBR. Right, they've proven it against a team who had a very close series against Shopify, who are now obviously waiting for whoever makes it through the gauntlet. So it's a proven sort of affair. Now for Zipto, I like how they've looked in this, but it does just feel like MIBR, it's a little bit of a color above. I don't know how you're meant to deal with these sort of, it feels like a one-sided map here.
Yeah, it really does. MIBR have been getting away with too much in these openings. Zipto, they've got to be okay with just kind of bluffing that they lost the area of the map and choosing to refight later. Even going back to that pistol round with, or rather it was the first gun round, the bonus for MIBR, that double play and shower, and Alexi TPing through, getting that triple kill. That only fell in MIBR's favor because Zipto were unable to survive, right? That entry. Throw some jiggles, don't die, don't be willing to just go all in on the first opening. Be okay with giving it up and then choose a different fight, set up a different trap. Something like this, a little more finesse to Zipto's game, just to get them back into things. I think this Viper ult in Shirazi's back pocket is definitely gonna buy them that time that they're looking for. They've gotta be fearful for Sayori's Brim ultimate that might counter, but Shirazi should buy a lot of time towards this long B.
Should. Let's see. 6-1, if you're just tuning in here.
Aneri's got the operator on the table. She wants to find a fast opening towards this hookah.
But you can see how passive they're holding towards A. Super deep on this one, playing safety and security. MIBR cautiously taking the space. Very standard in approach. Clears front sight. Everything's looking good. A little bit of a denial, at least on the plant. Well, an attempted denial.
Spike planted.
Not quite what they would have wanted there.
That is bizarre. Wingman is just strong. Getting the spike down regardless.
Different.
Let me take 2 mollies, no big deal.
Sliggy's furious next door. Absolutely fuming. So will SRM be after that sort of shot. Okay, maybe we've got a little bit of a springboard now. Maybe they can apply that pressure. Wingman thrown into the mix. Alexi finds Melissa. We've got the ult coming down. And what on earth is going on? It is just, again, chaos in this. Molly lined up, trying to play to that timer that's just gone off. Playing it a little late in the day here. Tara can at least get half on that defuse. They've got to deal with these players, though. Sayori, immovable in this moment, and nothing can really deny this. Tara's right, too low on time. MIBR. It may be down to 1 player, it may be down to 2, but they look so good.
Once again, the layers, Lauren. If it's not SRN in the front lines, just causing chaos, disrupting everything, it's the role players completely clutching it out, making sure all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, playing their roles to perfection here.
Well, again, we were seeing the praises of SRN, and rightly so, but towards the top of the board right now is Sayori.
Yeah, and she's playing in those really high pressure areas as well, on that truck area, looking left, right, and center, tanking all the utility herself and still coming out on top. And one of the scariest things on this map, Lauren, is a battle Brim. Once the Brim starts getting going, starts throwing down that stimmy for herself, it can get quickly dicey.
Yeah, that Bimsteak.
That Bimsteak.
But now, though, this should be, I want to say a comfortable round, but we know that Zipto are happy to be quite creative in these, go for gamble stacks when they're down on the Sheriffs. A little bit of a Shiko coming through here. Plant's going to be in play.
Want to go again?
So time is now on MIBR's side.
This time, MIBR looking to potentially flip the map. Juice.
Nice.
There's some feel-good ecos.
Full Eco Cobra moments.
Isn't done with you.
Round 2 of the ult. Nothing spotted, so that's pretty telling.
A lot of info. SRN's just gonna quickly take over that line, and yeah, right now MIBR, they know exactly where everyone is. Melissa even wants to get more ultimate orbs for herself.
Can love to deny. I mean, and the thing is, Zipto are so good too, but right now it just feels a little unstoppable with MIBR. They got that roll behind them, the confidence is there. The way they're playing just seems, they're exuding that confidence.
They absolutely are. Zipto, individually, they've been fantastic, but yeah, just need to look at them kind of using each other a little bit more. This is going to be a huge round for this first half, Lauren. Zipto, they've got to stop the bleeding here. Another operator on the board for Aneri. She was the one to find that opening pick onto SRN with the 1 round win that they have so far. Last time around, SRN lazily peeked around a corner, so if Aneri's able to find the correct angle, this time she chooses to go on the deep line at Shower.
Let's see. Opportunity. And Again, straight on through, and another success story for Zipto here. You were right, almost mirrored in essence from that previous one, just in a new position. But on the other side, MIBR still have a core 3 here to work with.
SRN is responding well. The Boombot should tell her players are close by. She's still got a nade, and Jelly is right ready to assist.
I like this though. Ah, but again, the wingman, everything so methodical on site take. I thought there'd be at least a little bit of a fight back, but no. The utility combination was just perfect. Now a 3v3.
Just perfectly responding to the info her teammates gave her. And SRN, she wants to do more.
Oh, and look at the pickup finding Tara here. The only factor was Camu slipped ahead, but SRN is so aware that someone could have slipped a little earlier than that Viper's pit. And then... No getting away from it, huh? No. Oh, there's Jim. Hello, Jimothy.
LeBron James to end it out. Lauren, she's got another showstopper on the board.
That's ridiculous.
That was a 5 versus 3 for Zipto. Able to find the quick openings, but all bodies, 3 members showed up on the minimap. And so SRN just completely capitalizing off the info, realizing that B was the weak side. And that was the danger I talked about when you have a duelist who's so aware and so confident, so willing to take the space. That 1-2 punch with just one initiator in your back pocket. Very dangerous. And even though Zipto looked like they woulda, coulda, shoulda won that round, look at their money, look at their guns.
Still trying though. Still got a little bit of fight in them, and a 9-1 scoreline. You got to give credit to keeping their heads up at that point, but managed to take down SRN. So that rifle's been dropped, so that could be recovered, but you're seeing where the players are. Might be easier said than done. So Alexi and Shirazi going to try and stay in unison here, but I mean, Jelly's used all util, but Melissa already got towards site, so what are you meant to do? It's just so overwhelming. TP, gonna be hurt. They're gonna know what's going on here. And it's just a 3-player squad on the other side of that smoke. It's just a massacre. MIBR, they're just looking at the next game, it feels like so far, at least the next map.
Yeah, that's clean. That's clean as ever. When you've got your Fade Initiator consistently on the flank, finding the back lines, just checkmating every single round. That is a feels bad for the defenders. At every point, they feel like, where the hell is she finding the gap? Why do I keep getting flanked? So this is a round, Lauren. I mean, if there's ever a round that Zipto should win, it's this one. 4 huge game-changing ultimates
all
on the
impactful,
board.
right? This is, but there is one SRN with a rocket. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, right? As you said, if there's ever a round for it, it's got to be this one. Operator there, everything looking good, just missing the Viper's pit, and that's it. So patience being displayed by MIBR. No hurry here. Taking their time. Got a Neri on that nice deep line down towards B-Long.
Looks like MIBR just want to do the textbook A hit here with the Gecko in pocket. Zipto haven't been able to delay this plant. Wingman has been able to just freely get in and tap. So you can see Alexi's on the rotate, ult in the back pocket. You've got to stop this spike.
Through lamps. I can hear this, but look at SRN. This is huge. The timing and the tempo is so good, and the aggression to follow, but Alexi stops it before it starts too far. But Camu, quick to the case as well. Finds Sayuri, but it's all traded out at 3 apiece. We still have a Neri with the ult. We still have the other players now making their way back towards the site. Look at the post plant, a little split up here, a little denied from showers. Smoke's now dissipating. They've cleared through by bench. You're gonna have the boom bot going in. That should. Oh my God, Jelly! It was completely unchecked, and that's the ult now removed. Down to a 2v2, but how do you deal with those final players? This is so difficult to try and pry them out of those corners. They can play to that tempo and that time, that ticking in the background. There's the first tap and the first fight, and that corner is being controlled. Alexi is going to have to do wonders here. Near on miracles as time has gone. MIBR near on flawless.
What a round, and any time it looked like Zipto had any sort of chance into the round, it's just MIBR with those layers coming through and swinging once again with the response. Painful first half for Zipto here.
We're going to have the conversation about whether or not it's a quick loss or a long loss that's easier to deal with, but that's after the break, so don't go anywhere. there is something to be said about just ripping off the Band-Aid, right, Christine? And where do you fall in this conversation of sometimes just a quick loss is easier to just mentally reset from than one of those arduous affairs where you feel like, oh, maybe we had the chance to come back into it and then you get blown out of the water? Is there something to be said maybe in this regard? 11-1.
It's tricky, but what I always tell my team is you want to use this first map as a warm-up. Listen, sometimes you just get completely bullied. It happens. It's all good. Use the second half to warm yourself up into this entire series. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got map 2, and you're working to make that map 3 a thing. So for Zipto, starting with this pistol, they've got to have full confidence, have that swarm mentality, stick together, power in numbers, and overwhelm the defenders here.
I like that. I'm feeling a little ready myself.
Did I hype you up, Lauren? Did I hype you up?
No, it worked.
Let's go.
I'm locked in. And to be fair, Zipto were good at their pistols. Roll your mind back. That was something they regularly got under the belt, but new opponent, all ghosts coming out for MIBR too. So let's see what we get. And a very proactive beginning here from MIBR. Dizzy through the TP and the 2 players swing. And it corrals the rest of Zipto, where the actual pack of players remains, where all 3 players from MIBR are still resigning. One up towards the corner here, jumps unchecked on, and it's crisp and clean.
That's a good trade.
Reply, very good reply. Plant's still gonna be in. That's fine, and Zipto have actually got the plant in.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Zipto. They're able to reposition, once again, fully controlling this U-Haul. Great crossfire, but that nade pushes everyone off.
Okay, that isolates a fight, but a great trade for Shirazi. But a 1v2 is dealt with. That's fine, and Neri is there. Zipto with the first step.
First step indeed, and 1 round at a time, Lauren. That's what you're telling each other right here. 1 round at a time.
Okay.
And a good stabilizer. I mean, that was the kind of
good.
dominant confidence you want to see, right? All members just overpowering the U-Haul together.
I like it.
They've got the Gecko in their composition. Listen, this is a mirror comp. There's no reason why Zipto aren't going to be able to repeat exactly what we saw MIBR doing. They've got the Gecko to allow them to help with the planting duties.
Okay, here we go. Patience being displayed from one side. SRN going
she's scrimming. She's doing it.
Having a little wander. Alexi, so quick though, that's nice. So again, I want to see Alexi activate too, because I think to our eye of the last previous game, Alexi has been a real start, and Neri, fantastic too. Cammy had some massive impact as well. I mean, every single player I feel had their moments here, but see if they can keep this clean. Can they keep the 5 alive here? Can they do the, you know, all above board? Or is there any threats to be made here? For MIBR, they can be a little cheeky. Slip into the corner. That is going to be dissipating now. Oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, very heads up.
Yeah, exactly how Zipto have handled this pistol and this anti-eco is exactly what you want to see. The control and the awareness coming through for all players. You can see their communication is looking good. This is a clean anti-eco.
Yeah, that is absolutely wondrous for them. And you can see Camu really focused on building towards that ult early on. Only 2 away for her.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to be talking to each other about. They want to get Camu to go hunting for this last kill. You can see that's exactly what she's doing. She's booking it down this long beat, trying to find where she is, but
flawless.
It's a calculated. I like that, Juice.
You kind of got to do it. Yeah. You gotta be doing that. That's a smart way to do it. Take away there once Camu, as you said, would have loved to have had that chance to get another step towards the ult.
I would love a math nerd right now in the chat to do the maths, look at the cost of that molly, the value, and we really figure out whether that was optimal or not. But
so I'm leaning over. Has Mini done the calculating, or can he count that high? Not sure. Might be a bit too far for him. Too many enough fingers to get that high. But we are into the first real go of things, right? And the scary factor is that this bonus is normally lovely. As I said, it's a bonus. But when you've got 11 rounds against you, the impact changes. So love to see them have a good go at this for MIBR. First chance to pretty much get themselves secure on 12, right? Yeah. So let's see what Zipto decide to go with. It seems very all in.
Zipto are pretty happy with this. They've already spotted the Viper, already burned the Viper molly here. You can see SRN is very fast to rotate. This refight with the nade.
They're going in. Look at this aggression.
Wow.
And look at the absolute slaughter, at least for the first.
Good response.
Reply. Back and forth they go, blow for blow. But now the site's theirs. They're going to get the plant. They're going to get a little bit of a nice post plant set up too. That's going to be another ult orb coming in. That's huge. Cameo's got ult now as well. Melissa and Sayuri, this is a lot to clear back through here. Up against it number-wise, Prowler, not going to catch anyone. Still has Haunt. Still have their smokes, that's just been invested. And a committed double stack towards kind of elbow side. One towards Hookah here. Tap on the spike, first spike found. Now down to a fair 2v2. Haunt's going to clear through long, maybe consider the smoke for Sayuri to find Alexi. And now towards Shirazi, who stands tall with the clutch. What a dreamy
huge bonus. What a huge bonus coming in right at the nick of time as well. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It's come down to that insurance plan, the last rat to come through the smoke and just secure that round. But this refight coming through for Zipto, they've been aware now 2 different times, just waiting and actually kind of hoping that MIBR refight onto them.
That's Matt. Okay, we said it, round by round. And normally we don't kind of include the bonus, or at least I don't, right? Casting-wise, I'm like, okay, that's probably going to go MIBR's way. Cool, then we're in the buy round, then we start talking. Now they come into this, they have the safety net of Cameo's ult if it gets really dangerous, but you're already hearing those ult ults being collected. MIBR, higher priority towards that, at least with showers, so they've claimed that and they back away.
Decent answer here for that. Look here, Zipto, you want to start kind of looking at the long game here.
Right there.
You want to be one step ahead of the ult economy here. Try to get Iniri to be farming these, Terra or Alexi.
So cautious. Spike being left back super deep. You can see even how, I guess, hesitant or very diligent, you want to call it, Alexi is clearing back the space. So there's a chance maybe someone had slipped the net here. Got to be a bit careful. Again, people are willing to take higher chances with those shares, try and slip through on some timings. No one has yet.
Yeah, Melissa wants to throw this tether down and combo it in tandem with SRN. Try to get a nade kill if they can.
Oh,
what a shot.
And that shot. Shirazi's gone. Okay, no plant yet. Molly going to go in. Deny at least a little bit of a space play back through. Well, not going to find too much, but Melissa just goes straight into the smoke and finds the kill, and now they're down to 3. This is all going a little bit wrong here. Cameo going to give away the game as well. Could be swung on from multiple angles. Gets very dangerous here. The bait from one and the swing from the other. Oh my word, MIBR. That's not the round you win, but hell, why not?
Oh, wow, that's pain. That is pain, Lauren. Just with Deagles as well, and it just came down to shots. Just really good aim coming out here for SRN. And if it didn't come down to the aim, it would have always came down to the utility, right? MIBR had that game plan, and they chose the right stack.
Yeah. This Mastercard Thirsty is going to haunt Zipto.
It's haunting me right now.
because this looked like, hey, they could get a couple good rounds here. You know, they're looking really nice. They had that ult in the pocket. Zipto instantly going to try and slow this down. Going to go for the tactical timeout. Don't mind it. You might as well give it a go. Scary factor in my mind is we now have that cycle up for MIBR. They've got the ult with SRN. They're very close by with Sayuri's, which is the Brim ult. They have 2 away from Jellies and 1 away from the Nightfall as well, if they opt for that. So they have options aplenty. Alexi 1 off from hers, but nothing to really maybe instantly combo that with and make a way forward. But, I mean, Zipto looked good for 3 rounds.
And those 3 rounds were
real good.
Were off the back of full control, right?
Yes.
So I think they're reminding each other now that, listen, all of these rounds so far, we've had it in the bag. We've been controlling the pace. So that Raze ultimate does make things dicey, but they're going to be able to predict where SRN is going to want to fight, just like they did 2 rounds ago. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Zipto poking and prodding towards this long B area again, draw SRN or draw whatever trap Zipto has towards that area of the map, and rather MIBR, and try to slow work it from that angle.
All right. Let's see. Here we go. Do we have, I don't want to say game on our hands, it's a little bit early.
A little early.
12.
I'm close. I'm holding my breath.
Yeah. Let's see if we have a round in our hands, maybe. I don't know how to boil that down further. I'll be taking any feedback or, thoughts for yourself. As it stands, this is where I'm focused. We're going to see MIBR. You can see the setup. Second contact was made. This was going to happen, but for now, patience. and nothing being given. Look at the line drawn in the sand here, Christine. They ain't moving.
Yeah, they are very paranoid about this Raze flying down this short A right now. Zipto, they want to kind of demand MIBR to make the first move, but MIBR, they feel okay. Such deep lines right now. The fact that Jubes has all of this info down long B is allowing only 2 players to just sit. Pushing Jelly off the line should make the defenders think twice, at least a little bit. But look, Jelly, she just re-goes right back onto the line.
The temptation has drawn the
That's
player.
beautiful.
Wow, Zippo, this is stunning. This was so well choreographed. Now, SRN is quick, though. SRN has made it back here fast. Does she find a target? No. So the ult is nullified. Beautifully navigated by Zipto. Sayuri, though, claims a stake in the ground and actually pushes through. No! It's all going to pieces here. Zipto trying to take space outside of that plant. And MIBR clearing back through. And just looking so sharp. SRN's not giving up a quarter in this. Camu now in a 1v4. And I think we know how this goes. Has to respect the molly. So Camu buying a little bit of time, but she has to buy a whole lot. Whoa! What an attempt! But an attempt would not be enough here. 13-4. That's a landside.
And I think this last round perfectly illustrates how this first map has gone so far. Zipto looking like they did, and they had it in the bag, looking like they did exactly what they needed to do to get another round on the board, but it's just MIBR with another answer, sending SRN in to just clean up.
Nah, they are actually such a scary team to witness play. So much aggression there, but it's only map 1. Split is coming up next. Don't miss it.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So, you want to work in esports?
Great. Step 1, never spell it like that. Better.
Step 2, apply to the Mastercard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2 designed to give you all the tools and resources needed to help you start a career in esports.
This is an education in everything, from creating content to managing a team.
All from experts who will explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans.
Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else.
And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions.
So they're flying them out to champs?
Yep.
Thank you,
Mastercard. So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience.
Can anyone apply?
No, you can't apply.